This video is about how to simplify algebraic expressions. So first off, an expression is a mathematical sentence that does not have an equal sign. So it is just written kind of by itself, right? You don't always need to solve it usually. So the story problem that I'm going to start with says, suppose I have 2 cats and 6 dogs. Then 3 more cats show up on my doorstep and 2 dogs run away. Mathematically, I could write 2 cats plus 6 dogs plus 3 cats minus 2 dogs equals 5 cats and 4 dogs. And that's easy to see, right? We are combining the cats and then we're combining the dogs. We don't put them together because they're not the same thing. So that's the same in all algebraic expressions. We can only combine what is exactly the same. So down here it says, so instead of cats and dogs, how about I just use letters? And that's what we will be using in math, is they will just see the letters. So I have 2c plus 6d plus 3c minus 2d. I'm going to combine what are the same. So 2c plus 3c, and I take the sign to the left. So 2c plus 3c equals 5c. And 6d minus 2d equals 40, right? Okay, so that's how we're going to use and kind of what we're going to see. I do want to point out a few things really quick though. So this is what confuses kids, I feel like, the most is when we add in exponents. So it says, is 2 the same as 2 squared? No, right? 2 is just 2, and 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. 2 and 4 are not equal, so you can't just combine those. That's the same with x and x squared. X by itself is x, and x squared is x times x. We can't just combine those things and pretend they're the same. They're not. The only time I can combine or simplify is when the tags match exactly, or the variables match exactly. So let's look at a few examples. 7w plus w. Do you see how the w's are exactly the same? So I can just combine. If I have 7 of them and I add 1 more to it, I would have 8. And the next expression, 2x minus 2y plus 2. Nothing is exactly the same. Look at, I have an x right here. I have a y right here. And then with this 2, I have nothing, right? It's just a number. It doesn't have a variable attached. None of those are the same, so I can't combine them. And the next expression, I have 8e squared minus 3e plus 2e squared. Because e squared is exactly the same, I can just combine those. And again, I take the sign to the left. So 8e squared plus 2e squared equals 10e squared. And then I just bring over my subtract 3e because I did not use that. Okay, so I'm going to do a few example problems with you guys. So if I'm looking at this one right here, I have negative 4x subtract 10x. So I want to look and see if my variables are exactly the same. I have 1x there, 1x there. I can just combine them. So I say, what is negative 4 subtract 10? I know that would be negative 14. And I just copy down the variable. Because I am adding and subtracting, I don't do x squared. That's exactly how many x's I have. If you remember our example, we didn't say I have 5 cats squared. We just said 5 cats, right? Because that's all we're combining. So again, I just do negative 14x because I had negative 4 and I took away 10. All right? So my final answer would be negative 14x when I simplified that expression. Okay, and the next one, I have 12r. So I'm going to start using r as blue. Plus 5. 5 is by itself, so it's going to be orange. Plus 3r. r was blue. Minus 5. 5 is by itself, so it's also going to be orange. So I'm going to rewrite them to put my like terms together. So I have 12r plus 3r plus 5 minus 5. Again, I take the sign to the left, okay? So 12r plus 3r would give me 15r. And a positive 5 subtract 5 would give me 0. So you can either have 15r or 15r plus 0. Okay, we're going to look at another one down here. So in the next one I have 2p, I'm going to label p as blue, plus 4p, also blue, plus r, that's something different, that's going to be orange, and then plus 3r to the 4th power. r to the fourth power is not r by itself. That is r times r times r times r. So that cannot just be combined. So I'm going to combine the things that are the same color. 2p plus 4p. That would give me 6p. I have nothing else that is orange, so I'm just going to copy that down. And then at the end, again, I have nothing else that is pink, so I just copy that down as well. So my final answer would be 6p plus r plus 3r to the fourth. All right, and then we have this last one down here that we're going to look at. So I'm going to start labeling. Anything with a v to the 3 is going to be pink. I'm just going to look through this one and see if I have any more. Oh, right there. V to the 3. Okay, anything with a v squared is going to be blue. Do I have anything else v squared? Oh, right there. And then anything with an m squared is going to be orange. Nothing else. Again, I will rewrite this one so that my like terms are by each other. So I have v to the third. My other pink one is over here. I bring this sign with me. So minus 9v to the third. Then I'm going to move to blue plus v squared. My other blue is over here, plus 6v squared. And last I have my orange, which I'm just going to tack on at the end, plus 3m squared. And the reason I can rewrite it is because the commutative property tells me I can rewrite those. So we learned that in this class. The commutative property allows me to swap the order that my numbers are in. All right, so what is v to the third? I could also put a 1 right here if that helped me. What is like 1 minus 9? I know that would be negative 8v to the third. What is, I could put a 1 right here. 1 plus 6, that would be a positive 7v squared because that was my variable. And then at the end I just have this 3m squared all by himself. So this right here would be my final answer. Okay. We also expand a little bit more. We have a problem like this and we say simplify. Because you guys know how to use the distributive property, you should be able to simplify this as well. So I'm going to take 4 and I'm going to distribute it to both my terms. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And then I'm just going to copy down the rest of my expression that's not in there. And I'm going to look for like terms. Anything with an x is going to be in pink. I see something else with an x. Anything without a variable at all will be orange. All right, I'm going to rewrite it so they're next to each other. 4x, bring the sign to the left. So the sign to the left of 9x is a plus. So plus 9x. Bring the sign to the left. So the sign to the left of 12 is a minus. And then bring the sign to the left would be a plus 5. Okay, 4x plus 9x, so 4 plus 9 is 13x. A negative 12 plus a positive 5 would give me negative 7. So my final answer would be 13x minus 7. Again, I had to apply the distributive property and then simplify. We're going to do one more like that. This one's a tad bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to distribute this 2x to this x and to this 6. 2x times x, I'm going to write like this to begin with, and then 2x times 6, just so you guys can see how I'm using the distributive property. Copy down the rest of my terms. Now I want to simplify. What is 2x times x? That would give me 2x squared, plus 2x times 6 would just give me 2 times 6 is 12x. Copy down my rest, plus 9x squared. Subtract 4. I'm going to look for like terms. Anything with an x squared gets an orange underline. Anything with just an x gets a pink underline. And anything without a variable will get blue. I want to rewrite it so my colors are next to each other, or my like terms are next to each other. So I'm going to take 2x squared. The sign to the left of the 9x squared is a plus, so plus 9x squared. Right, my next one, the sign to the left is a plus, so plus 12x. And the sign to the left of the 4 is a subtract 4. 2x squared plus 9x squared would give me 11x squared. Then I have nothing to combine over here, so just plus 12x, subtract 4. There were no other like terms. So my final answer on that one would be 11x squared plus 12x, subtract 4. So again, what we are doing is simplifying expressions. When we simplify an expression, it is supposed to take a longer one and make it smaller or make it easier to solve. And the key points that we have to remember are that in order to combine things, the tags, or I'm going to even write variables to help you guys out, the variables must match exactly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The variables have to be the exact same.